Good morning, and what a beautiful, beautiful sunshiny day, which is perfect because we're talking about out of the sun, That Summer in Puglia by Valeria Vescina. I'm so really huge apologies if I've got that wrong. So this is a complicated book for me because it's so carefully written and incredibly evocative. I mean, you can imagine all the beautiful places in Italy and in London, actually. And the characters are very well drawn, very well, sun's in my eyes, very well described. And it's a very passionate book. And it's really, an older man reliving his life and his deepest regrets. And there's a sense, because at the beginning, it tells you very clearly that his mother killed the love of his life. So that's it's like one of those books where there's just this impending sense of doom, because you are going to hear, and you're going to hear because they've already told you at the beginning and on the back, that there's this extraordinary tale of loss. And so every sort of second you're waiting for this awful thing, and much of the story is just desperately sad, and it's a real kind of Shakespearean mix-ups and misunderstandings and lack of communication that lead this to these awful things. And then there's this glimmer, because and I can't tell you why, because I don't want to give away spoilers, but then there's this sense that maybe that isn't what happened. Maybe and that's when I started to get really annoyed with the narrator, because I was so cross with him for leaving and all the things he says he feels, but actually his actions don't bear that out. So I became quite annoyed with the main character, which I don't think is really what I should have done. And but it's still beautifully written, and it's about youth, and it's about parenting and about loss, and it's a super book. I'm not a big fan of the end. You might remember with Ivor when I threw the book across the room. I didn't throw this book across the room, but I did go, oh, because I like Disney endings. I like there to be complete clarity that love wins out. And while both of them are very happy and the future, I think, is good, there is that little tiny piece of me that wanted the Disney ending. So my children are ready for school, which means they're shouting. So time for me to go. I'd love you to read this. It's a beautiful, beautiful book, and her debut, I think, is really surprising. So yeah, read and enjoy.